I have never been an ARPG player. I never played any Diablo games, and I don't really know how they work either. But when PoE 2 came out, I was kinda drawn to it. So much that I ended up doing my own build, and well, I ended up playing for 400 hours. And with the new PoE 1 season coming out, I decided, what if, well, I learned this game. I've never played it, I've only done the campaign, and every time I do the campaign I end up quitting because I don't know what the hell is going on. But I really want those skins, and we have a good amount of time until PoE 2 actually becomes good again. So we're gonna pick up a good build, learn it, and understand the game with it. And try and get every challenge in PoE 1 as a PoE 2 player. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning. And let's get into it. So the first thing was to create our character. According to the POV, you had to be a marauder and you had to start with Ground Slam. I ended up getting this and starting to level up and going through the campaign. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, it was a little bit, it was a lot, okay? I was doing very little damage and I was very squishy. It was very, very slow to go through the first levels. I did enjoy the ability. It was pretty fun to see the little earth coming out of my maze, but at the same time, you know, I started dying over and over again. The first thing we died to were the these little thingies. Moss? I'm not sure, but we kind of died a few times here. It was not only one. I died so much. By the time that I got to Brutus, it took me 1 hour and 19 minutes to get there. And I also died 37 times by the time I killed it. Only took 1 hour and 30 minutes. And how many times did I die? 37 times. Wait, what? I died 37 times? I couldn't even kill the mercenaries to help me. The first one I actually was able to defeat was at level 13. I was not doing well at all. But a little bit after, I got Sunder, and oh my god, this ability does a lot of damage. And not only does a lot of damage, but it's such a cool animation. I absolutely loved everything after this ability. Everybody told me that Marauder was very, very hard on Act 1, and they were completely right. As soon as we started getting into Act 2, got Sunder, the game became easy mode. And it comes to show how important it is to actually follow the guide to a T if you're going for a guide, because as soon as I actually got my Sunder and paired up with the supporting gems that it said, the game became so much easier. And then I just kept blasting. I put a lot of effort into putting my resistances to 75%, cold resistance, lightning resistance, and fire resistance, so we would not end up dying to random stuff, but, you know, it definitely did happen a lot of times anyways. I also put a lot of effort into reading exactly what I was putting inside of my tree, so I would know how to actually gear my character. For example, I knew that it said to get myself this note that does more damage when you have 200 melee weapons, so I tried to get myself a 200 melee weapon. Got myself a unique axe that ended up doing a lot of damage. And according to my friends, the ability that I was using, Sunder, transforms physical damage into other damage, so the more physical damage I would do, the better. So I ended up carrying about only that. I also took a lot of effort into checking the skills that I needed to get, like this passive like Herald of Ash, Blood and Sand, that give you just more damage overall passively, and pairing them up with the things that need to be paired up. Although it seemed like the only one that you actually needed to pair up with was Sunder, Ruthless, and Close Combat to make your main ability do more damage. And I guess Leap Slam and faster attacks, so you can Leap Slam away super fast. The campaign went super smoothly after this, and super fast too. I tried to always be the same level as the map I was in. So if in the top right side on the map it said that it was level 29, when I pressed tab, I would try and be level 29. Otherwise, I would try myself and, you know, try my best and level up a little bit before so I wouldn't die. But, you know, sometimes I would die anyways, just like here. I didn't know this at the time, but apparently you actually lose experience when you die. Not that much, especially in the low levels, but you do. So not only I was actually losing time, but I was actually losing experience as well. But I'm a new player. I don't know what I'm doing. So of course I'm gonna die a little bit more than most people. But keeping my resistance up as close as 75% as I could and getting good levels definitely helped. I also tried my best to take advantage of the new mechanic with the mercenaries, but it was a bit hard. Even with a mercenary hired so they can help me around, sometimes I would not be able to actually kill them. But I would always check if they had good gear that I could take away from them or good currency as well. I even ended up getting one Chaos Orb for one of these mercenaries, which is the main currency of this game, and this will be important in the story after. I also tried my best to check the Lord's Labyrinth Ascendancy trials, because if you see, sometimes you're gonna be in a map and it's gonna say on the top right, solve the trial Ascendancy in this area. You're gonna have to search for this little like trap-filled labyrinth, and you have to do this 6 times in the first 6 acts, 5 acts, there you go, 5 acts, in order to get yourself an Ascendancy, which is very, very important for your character. And you can come and do this later, but it's always better to do it while you're playing the game, while you're in those zones, so you don't have to come back. After getting all the 6 little puzzles, you're able to get yourself into you get yourself the privilege to go into the labyrinth to ascend your character. You have to go through a lot more puzzles as well and find and finish one boss at the end. The problem is that if you die once, you have to start over, so I definitely was trying my best to not die. But thankfully, first try, I was able to come in here and finish the boss. And not only that, but I got lucky and I got an achievement, because apparently if you kill the boss and you get lucky, you can drop keys for chests that happen after. And I got the, I guess, maximum amount, which was 3, and I was pretty happy about that one. There you go, I just got 3 treasure keys. It was super cool, and I got a little treasure hunter achievement. And then I opened those chests, and goddamn, they give you a lot of stuff, and they even gave me more treasure keys. It was awesome. Hey, look at all this loot. And then, of course, after I went into the Ascendancy place, whatever, and got myself my first Ascendancy, as you can see here, Berserker, which is the important one for this class, and ended up getting myself the one that the guide said, which was indeed gain 1 rage on attack hits, 10% more physical damage, which is good, because that's what I'm doing, and every rage also increases 1 attack speed. Inherent rage loss starts 2 seconds later. So I lose rage less, and the more rage I get, the more attack speed I get. And then I realized that a lot of the things that I would actually get in the passive would eventually get me more rage as well. So it ended up making a lot of sense to get this, of course. After this, I was absolutely blasting. Nothing was killing me. I was doing insane amount of damage. But I started getting a little bit bored, guys. This is not the Flicker Strike build. This is a leveling build. And I was like, I wonder when I actually have to change to Flicker Strike. The guide said that you should do it after you finish the whole campaign, when you start doing the maps. But it also said that you could indeed switch up in Act 7, but only if you get yourself your unique weapon, the Emerald Zest. And I was like, I wonder why that is the case, but here's what it is. Gain a Frenzy Charge on Critical Strike. And the thing is, every time you use your Flicker Strike, if you have Frenzy Charge, it has no cooldown. So obviously, this item was completely needed for this build. And guess how much it costs? 1 Chaos Orb. I was playing with my friends and asked them, should I switch now? And said, no, Darrens, if you do this, you might actually fuck up your build. You might not actually have the power to finish the campaign if you do it this early. But that's how losers talk. I went into the trading website, I logged in, and I whispered the person with the weapon and started moving things around, changing my gear, putting the gems on the correct spots to make this build work, as well as changing my passive nodes so they wouldn't go with 200 access damage and instead going into 200 sword damage. Took me a little bit, but I was able to do it. I didn't delete any of my gear that I had before anyways, just in case it didn't work, because even though I wanted to do this, I didn't want to break my character either. And it ended up working out pretty well. I had to, obviously, change some things, and it was not perfect. And the more I actually leveled up and get more nodes, to get more crits, to get more flicker strike damage, and of course, procs as well, it ended up being better and better, but it was working well anyways. If I would have stayed with Sunder, I think it would have been probably faster, but look at this and how stupid it looks. I love it so much. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really enjoying the Sunder build that much either. Sadly, it had a lot of buttons. It was like, you had to press like 5 buttons every time you engage with something. And I know it was better for me, but like, this is a one button build essentially. And it just makes you zoom around the map like a maniac. Everyone was telling me that I should get myself a microtransaction for my weapon so it looked even cooler, but maybe that we should do that for another video. I was honestly super happy, and I started zooming through the campaign like a maniac. It was super fun, and in no time, I was on Act 10, being almost done with the entire campaign in one day. Well, I did go to sleep, but, you know, less than 24 hours, let's just say that. I couldn't believe it. Every time I actually played this game, I would beat the campaign in like a week, and then I'll be like, well, I guess I play the game, I'm done. But this time it felt different. It felt like I actually knew what I was doing, and it was super, super fun as well. I ended up killing Kitava, even though I died over and over again against the boss, because, you know, I'm very bad at this game right now. And Flicker Strike doesn't make it easy when this is the kind of stuff that happens either. But I did do it. And by the end, it took me around 181 deaths to get to this point in a period of 11 hours and 32 minutes. So around 15 deaths per hour. That's a lot of deaths, guys. And assuming that it takes me around, I don't know, 15 seconds of average of every death between loading screens and other kind of stuff, like walking back, that's a lot of seconds. That's 2,715 seconds. Divided by 60 to get minutes. 45 minutes. 45 minutes of deaths? That can't be right. Oh my god. That's without even considering how much experience I lost too. So what did we learn? Sometimes playing safely is better than just hitting your head against the wall over and over again to beat the boss. Hopefully, you can learn that from this video. Now that we're done with the campaign, there's still a lot to do. We need to get up good gear that makes sense between each other. We need to get ourselves perfect resistances that we don't have right now, because after beating Kitava, you lose a lot of your resistances. I need to get myself every one of the optional quests that I'm missing in order to get as many passives as I can. And I also need to go to the Sarn encampment and get myself my second ascendancy. Because yes, if you really remember, in the notepad from the build, it said that whenever you get your second ascendancy, you can go to Flicker Strike, and I didn't read that part. So I've been playing with an unoptimized Flicker Strike this entire time. So yeah, we definitely have to do that. So I'll be working on that on my own for my second video. So definitely subscribe to the channel so you can check out that part. Subscribe to the channel. I just said it. Why am I saying it again? It's just my outro. I always say it. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning, especially because we're gonna be playing this and going through our Zero Hero. And see you guys around. Love you all.